What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here. Today we are back with another real-life cruise video. Now, this actual part of the cruise was more nearing the end of it, but there was other footage, but it kind of wasn't as good as this because the other footage, there was a lot of just a lot of times where we were kind of caught behind traffic and stuff like that, and it just wasn't anywhere near as entertaining as this particular section was. So that's why I decided to highlight this particular section, and it was a really great day for it. The weather was perfect for it. There was just a lot of tourists out. It was really crowded in a lot of places. There were some places where we couldn't even get a spot to park. It was just absolutely insanely crowded. We did get a good run out of it, but we had to take some... If we wanted to basically go anywhere where there wasn't going to be traffic, we had to take some pretty out-of-the-way back roads. But it ended up being pretty cool. I ended up leading the group down a road where we didn't actually plan to go. It was completely off the route. I thought it was where we were planning on going, but I actually accidentally led everybody down this like old farm road that went nowhere, and we had to turn around in somebody's driveway. And that was fun, but other than that, it went really well, really smoothly. We went past a huge lake. The water level was really far down just because of the time of year, but other than that, really enjoyable run, really good run, and hopefully the next time we can have a few more cars, because this time in total, we had 4 cars, which was nice for the first time around because we were able to really kind of feel out the actual route that we were taking, just to make sure that it was actually a good route, that it would actually work properly, and it actually did. It worked better than I was actually kind of expecting it to, because even though there was a lot of traffic, it would have worked. It would have worked with more cars, and so I'm definitely going to try and bring more cars here in the future. The only problem with bringing more cars here is you have to be really careful not to let people get stuck behind other like slow-moving traffic. Otherwise, if they get stuck behind slow-moving traffic, then they're pretty much done. They're just gonna get stuck there, which is what happened actually to one of the guys on this run. We tried to pull off and regroup, and it almost worked. But a Ford Explorer ended up cutting off one of the guys, and he had to stay behind the Ford Explorer for like, I want to say, I don't even know, like maybe a half hour he was back there, and then we eventually pulled off and regrouped again, and we were good to go from that point forward. But up until that point, it was a little bit iffy as far as whether or not he was actually going to be able to get around the Ford Explorer to be able to rejoin the group with us. But I think the best thing to do would be to have multiple people that know the route, which would be kind of tricky. I'd have to, because I'm the only one that actually lives in this area, so I'd have to kind of, either I'd have to show somebody the route beforehand, or, I don't know, I'd have to figure it out somehow, but we'd have to have, like, 2 or 3 people that knew the route really well before I was comfortable bringing, like, you know, 10, 15 cars up here, because it would be, like I said, you don't want people getting lost. We had that happen on one of the other runs, and it's never a good phone call to have to make, to be like, where are you? You've been lost. You've gotten lost. We're here at the stopping point, and you've gotten lost. And then you realize they're like 40 minutes out from where you're supposed to be. That happened one time, and it was, I don't know, it was interesting. It was kind of an adventure, but at the same time, you kind of felt bad for the guys that ended up getting lost, because it wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault at all. So what I'll probably end up doing is, the next time, if we have a lot of people, I'll probably like print off maps and routes and stuff like that. But nonetheless, it was perfect temperature for it. There was like, it was really nice because the roads weren't wet at all. The roads were nice and dry. There was just kind of like falling leaves kind of all over the place that just kind of added to the atmosphere a little bit. And they weren't wet or anything, so they didn't cause any danger or anything like that. They just kind of added to the experience. In my opinion, anyway, they did. But we ended up seeing, what else did we see? We ended up seeing a BMW club on our way around the route, and that was cool because number one, one of the cars had a, I believe you pronounce it Dynan tune, and it was a Z3 with a dine-in package, and it was really cool because not only did he have suspension work done, but he had a bunch of other stuff done, and it definitely sounded like he had an upgraded exhaust, and, I mean, that thing went pretty well. He had to have at least had a mild software tune on it. He probably had more than a mild one on it, though, considering. But another thing I wanted to talk about is I wanted to briefly touch on DriveClub, because there's been people asking me if I'm going to play it or not, and after seeing some gameplay, I'm undecided. I'm iffy on whether or not I want to do it or not. Because I don't actually have a PS4, and I'm wondering if I should get a PS4 for DriveClub, because DriveClub is really the only racing game exclusive to PS4 right now. The only other time you'd need a PS4 for a racing game would be the next Gran Turismo, and it's going to be a long time before that comes out. I mean, we haven't even heard anything yet, so I'm debating on it. I'm debating on whether or not to do the whole DriveClub thing, because I'm really interested in Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4 seems like it'd be a really good game, but I'm not sure if that would be something that you guys would be interested in watching. If it is, then let me know, because I would like to get into it. I played Far Cry, which was it? I played Far Cry 2. I missed out on Far Cry 3, but I did play Far Cry 2, and I enjoyed that a lot. And if Far Cry 4 is similar in any way to Far Cry 2, I know a lot of people didn't like Far Cry 2, but I personally did. I loved the map editor. I loved pretty much everything about the game. And Far Cry 4, from what I've seen, is supposed to be pretty cool. So if you guys want me to check it out or want me to do anything with Far Cry 4, then I would totally be up for doing that. That would be something that I would really be interested in doing. And also, if you guys want to see some of the pictures from this run, like a couple of the pictures that I took on this run, they will be up on my Instagram page. I know I put one up there from an, let's see, it was an SLS AMG that we actually spotted in one of the towns that we stopped in, which was sweet because we pulled through the town, like, on the main street, and we looked and we were like, is that an SLS? Because you could only see, like, the back end of the car, and we, like, recognized it immediately, so we went back and took pictures of it. But that's the only picture that's up right now. There'll be more pictures up later. I try to keep that page updated as regularly as I possibly can. But as far as future plans go, I'm definitely going to do this run again if I can figure a really good time to do it. Let's see. The biggest thing with this run was I wanted to keep the schedule as on time as possible because of college papers that I had to write and everything. But as far as that goes, it's all good. That stuff is all done. Well, it will be. There's one more left to do, but it won't take too long at all. It's not too complicated of stuff. But there will also be a tour of that new PC coming soon, where I'll list the major parts and everything, and I'll show you guys around the PC, and hopefully be able to get some footage on it soon. And I need to get a couple things on it before I can start really recording with it. But once that's done, then I'll be doing some maximum quality benchmark recordings and things like that, because I know you guys really enjoy that. I mean, who doesn't enjoy games at maximum quality? And yes, that GTX 980 is it's worth it. It's a really nice card. I've used it a little bit more now. I've been just kind of messing around with different games, and that GTX 980, it's a really nice GPU. I really like it. It's definitely I would say it's worth it. It's a really smooth graphics card. It works really, really well, and I really, really like the way it just the way everything works. It's very reliable. It's very very smooth, very, very well performing, and everything about it pretty much just comes together properly. It just works properly. Everything about it works properly in a way that I suppose you would expect that, but at the same time, some GPUs are kind of iffy about certain things, and some are iffy about other things. The 980 isn't really that iffy about anything. It just works. It just works, and it works well. It does what you want it to do, and it does it when you tell it to do it. It works exactly like a high-performance graphics card should, but in the best way possible. And that Mini, actually, that you guys just saw, that Mini Coupe, it was really cool because he, can't remember if it was a he or she, but either way, they actually saw us coming up behind them, and they just kind of moved over and pulled off. A lot of the people on this run were really, really nice about pulling off and letting us go through, so that was nice, because people aren't always like that, especially people normally aren't like that, actually, but it was really nice to see that, because sometimes it can be, sometimes that can be an iffy thing, whether people are good about that or not, but on this run, it went really, really well. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a like, tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.